Good evening, everyone. This is your host for this time, Venom Jew Bear, and we have an interesting topic. So, we all were children at one point. Well, most of us. Then. 6 foot was
Really?
born in a tube.
What?
Yes, you were born in a lab. We all know that 6 foot. Um, and so, in our childhood, you have to say children are kind of dumb, and because children are dumb, they do dumb things. And so that's the topic: is dumb things we've done as kids, or just kids are dumb in general. So that can mean really anything. It's like what you believed as a kid, what did you do as a kid, what did you, I don't know, did you smear shit on the walls like I did yesterday? Um, and so my question is for you guys: what is the most embarrassing thing you did as a kid that you remember vividly?
God, I could name one right off the bat, but I should probably save it for later in the episode.
Okay.
Heroicus, do you have anything in mind?
I would say the time I shit my pants at a playground.
Oh, that
Nice.
reminds me. Is there more to it?
Oh yeah, I can get into more detail, without getting into too much detail about something people probably don't want to hear about. Um, but unfortunately I will. So I don't know where it is anymore. It was just some public playground. I remember a lot of it was made of wood and like you could climb up it. I think it was like a small like pirate ship or something. You could climb up, you could go inside and whatever. There were slides and whatever on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember playing. I had to have been 4 or 5, something like that. And I just remember at some point, it's just like I felt the need to take a shit. And when you're a kid, it's like you're having fun. You don't want the fun to end.
Right.
So I just eventually I couldn't hold it anymore, and I just shit in my pants.
Nice.
And I kept playing. I have this distinct memory of like climbing up something, and this shit's just like shaking back and forth in my
Oh,
pants.
I was I was literally just gonna ask, like, what was the consistency of this shit? Was it like a rock or was it like
Oh,
mud?
it was a solid, thankfully.
Okay, so that means you're eating a lot of fiber,
I guess I don't know what I was eating at the time.
or
Probably.
or or does hold on? Not that can be another episode. The consistency of shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that next week, everybody. Anyway, but yeah, I just kept playing. I can't. I have to imagine that some of the other kids must have just started to smell it or something. Um, at some point, I must have gone back over to my mom or something, or maybe she called me over, or maybe she noticed the fucking shit bulge in the back of my pants or something. And yeah, we had to go home. My mom was super fucking pissed at me. But it's like I just didn't know any better at the time.
and
I
to
mean,
this
like,
day, that shirt is still in your underwear.
Yeah, it is actually. It's mummified now.
Ooh.
all right. I'm probably gonna forget, so I'll just tell it anyways. So, speaking of shit, I remember. So, go away. Sorry, somebody's texting me. Fucking, I remember in preschool. It was. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was my first day of preschool, but it was. I don't think I was there for very long because we moved. Probably or no, no, never mind. Um, so I think I went to a couple different preschools. I don't know, but one of the ones I went to, it was like I had to go to the bathroom, and I guess like when you're that young, you need like an adult to like kind of chaperone you in the bathroom because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And for whatever reason, for whatever reason, I thought it was a good idea like I had to shit, but for whatever reason I thought it was a good idea to start smearing my shit on the sink, like trying to write something.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
I mean, understandably, the teacher was like frustrated, but I mean, I'm a kid. I don't know when he like.
Okay, 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 okay.
I
Wait,
had
wait a minute. I got a question. You had a chaperone, so like, I'm assuming they waited outside the bathroom.
no, it was inside.
Okay, so they were in like you went in the stall. You took a shit. You grabbed it out of the toilet,
No.
and then
Like
you
I wiped my ass or something.
with your bare hand.
I must have.
Oh man.
Children are stupid.
I just imagine they're just like leaning up against the wall waiting for you, and then you just burst out of the stall with a hand that's just completely covered in shit and just start smearing it everywhere, and they're just like, oh god, not again.
Not
Because somebody else has done it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that cannot be the first time that's happened. There's no way. Like, yeah. And I was there's I was I what?
So far, this entire episode is about shit. We probably should change the topic after this.
I mean, hey, the original episode idea that I came up with was times we shit our pants as kids. And then it's like let's expand on this idea that kids are stupid. But yeah, I do have several bathroom related stories here.
And then I have another. I'll tell a really quick one, and then one of you can go. So I was a little bit older, if that helps, and it was like, of course, both my parents were working, and they hired a babysitter to look after. It was like me and my sister was basically a baby at that point. And I was in the basement, like playing with, I don't know, I was playing with blocks or something. And, basically I shit my pants a little bit. Like nothing bad, just enough that like I wanted to, well, not wanted, needed to put on a different pair of pants. So it's like but the thing was there was no way to get back up to my room without without the babysitter not seeing me. So I had to like try to sneak upstairs like fucking Assassin's Creed style. And like as soon as I fucking poked my head around the corner, she's like, what are you doing? I don't remember what happened after that, but like it was basically like the jig was up.
Unfortunate.
I unfortunately had to get up and investigate a noise, so I missed that whole story.
Well, you'll get to hear it when you edit the episode.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, me in the future editing is hearing this right now.
So that's it. So one of you two can tell a story.
I'll tell a story. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what story I should tell because I've got a lot of them. I'll stave off of the shit talking literally, and go to. This isn't really an embarrassing story, but more of just like kind of an indicator of the kind of kid I was. So my sister, for her birthday or whatever, was given this Barbie toy motorcycle, and it had like three options. It was like turtle, something, and then like rabbit, and like rabbit was like the fastest. And
Wait,
so
what was it again?
it was a Barbie toy motorcycle.
Oh, wait, like could you ride on it or was it for a Barbie doll?
You could ride on it. I think it was Barbie or it was something else. I just remember it being like Barbie-esque. And so
okay.
Wait, 1 second. I got a question. You said it was turtle and rabbit. Was there a third setting?
I think there was, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what it was.
So like tortoise and the hare, like fast or slow. Was that the idea?
Maybe there was a tapier setting.
Maybe. Or it just pisses backwards like all tapirs do.
Ooh.
Yeah, fun fact, don't stand behind a tapier. Anyways, so basically, me being the kid I am, I put it to the rabbit setting and I drive out of the backyard and through the street, through parking lots. My family is chasing after, worried as fuck. Just you got this kid shirtless with a diaper on, going like 50, while there's a bunch of cars going like 70
Oh
on
my
a
you
road.
God.
and you and this was last week, right?
Oh yeah, of course. And so basically, my family finally caught up to me, but it was quite some time until they were able to get to me.
Oh
And
my
so,
God.
yeah, and so they're like chasing me throughout the parking lot. They're freaking the fuck out as they should. And the entire time, I was just having a blast. The time of my life.
That actually, I'm gonna tell this quick one, and then Hirokus, you can share something. That kind of reminds me of I was literally I was a year old. Like I think I haven't been able to walk for that long. Like I just started to learn. Well, what is it like toddler or like babies, toddlers, whatever? It's like they learn to walk, and then eventually they learn to like they can walk good enough that they can start like kind of running or like almost like the toddler run, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it was around that time in my life where, and I guess toddlers get this as like, they suddenly just become super attached to one of their parents, like just for no, well, I don't want to say for no reason, but you get the idea. Like they just become like super fucking attached. And that was with my dad one morning. Like my dad was just like getting ready to go to work like any other morning, and for whatever reason I was awake, and for whatever reason I was out and about, and it's like he walks out the door, he closes the door. Somehow, and like I said, I wasn't much older than a year old. Somehow I opened the front fucking door in my diaper, like I was wearing only a diaper, and I just start fucking like chasing after him like he's driving down the road in his car. I just start fucking chasing after him like in the middle of the fucking neighborhood street. So imagine just a toddler in a fucking diaper running down the street like, "Daddy!" I mean,
Like the
thankfully,
scene, it's like the scene in Toy Story 2 where Buzz is chasing Al's car.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, thankfully, the neighbor across the street was able to like. They were outside just in time. Like, what the fuck?
It's fucking tackled you.
Not yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Then picked you up and just throw you like a football up into the second story window.
You wish.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
But yeah, that's it for that story. So if you want to go ahead and tell one,
All right, so I'll give you a choice. I'm going to tell all of these regardless, but a piss story, a shower story, or an injury.
Shower. Let's go shower.
sure.
Shower, okay. So this was at a campground that we stayed at for a while when we moved. Um, it was just while we were trying to like find a house to get into, and our camper did have like an outdoor shower you could set up, but it was just like, it wasn't really most comfortable thing. Knowing it's like, yeah, the only thing separating you from the outside is like this thin piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And it was a pain to set up, so we just didn't bother with it. So they had a main building that was like the sign-in place slash store. Like you could go in, they had pretty much anything, different food supplies you would need, basic stuff you would need like for camping as well. Like you'd have marshmallows and chocolate and biscuits or whatever to. Not biscuits, crackers, so you can make s'mores and shit like that. And then also part of this was the bathrooms, which, had so many stalls, and then it had shower stalls as well. So that's the only way we could, get in there and take a shower. And I went over there one day. I don't know if it was in the morning or what, maybe. And I got in. So you go in, there's like the first little room you're basically in, um, is where you put your bag down, get out of your clothes, and then you go into the actual shower that separates with like a plastic curtain. But it's just like any public bathroom. Like there's always the spaces underneath. It was pretty low though, which was nice. But it's like, I wish they didn't have that shit. But as I'm like showering, I noticed like there's nobody else in here. So I, for some stupid reason, decided I was gonna crawl underneath to the next stall. And then I just kept doing it. Like there must have been like 5 or 6 of them. So I went all the way to the other end, and I'm just like, God, I'm gonna be really fucked if somebody comes into one of these, and then I gotta fucking walk out uh, to go back into mine completely naked.
Nice.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but it was really stupid. And then yeah, I managed to crawl back. Nobody came back in, but like that would have been pretty embarrassing. Just imagine like you're going for your daily shower at the campground. You open the door and there's just this naked, like, how old was I at the time? So let me see. Give me a sec. It was like 2007. So that made me 13. You see some fat, naked teenager just crawling between the showers. You'd just be like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, pretty much. I have another one, unless Six, you have another one.
Go ahead.
So, this one is told through the perspective of my mother, and my mom likes to recount this story once in a while. I, as a kid, was affectionately titled Monkey because I used to crawl. Okay, so in the kitchen, we had this kid gate, and what I would do is I would crawl on the counter and open the kid gate for me and my sister so we could play in the kitchen. So one day, my mom sees me and my sister playing. My sister's running around and goes into the closet. And then my mom sees me running with a knife in my hand. And
Oh God.
I get to the closet. I begin stabbing the closet with the knife. And my sister is laughing the entire time. And I have like multiple knives I'm shoving into the closet.
Jeez.
And my mother's like, what the fuck? And basically pulls me away. But that's a story. Just a quick story I wanted to tell.
Truly a hellspawn moment.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Oh. And I was a little confused because of the way stuff gets cut off or I hear stuff. I thought you said at the beginning, this is from the perspective of my lover. Like, and then I'm like, then you're talking about a child story. And I'm like, wait, what? You had a lover in like your fucking toddler days or something?
Yes, I was the player when I was 2 years old.
Maybe it's like that. What's that unibrow baby from The Simpsons with Maggie?
I actually don't know if it has a name, but Unibrow Baby.
Hirokus, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
I
give
do
me
know.
a sec.
Yeah, it's the one that it's the rival of Maggie. There's even a short dedicated to their rivalry, where he keeps killing butterflies and Maggie tries to let one escape. I think that won an Oscar actually.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. How come?
I'm just thinking like that's what that would have been if you had a lover as a toddler.
I got it.
Just
It's
whoever your rival is / lover, they would have a unibrow.
Yeah.
I looked it up. He's just called Baby Gerald.
Uh,
Sounds about right.
Just so you know, he's a baby.
Yeah.
I was unaware.
Yeah.
So, 6 foot Helicus, what do you guys have?
I'm trying to come up with another one. I
Okay,
have
I think you have to
potentially.
small one while you're thinking. Do you want me
All
to?
right,
Uh,
I got one.
Okay.
all right. One of you two, go ahead.
All right, so I'll just get the last bathroom themed one out of the way. This I'm gonna say this was a 2004 thing. For some reason, um, one day I was in my bedroom and I had just had to take a piss, and instead of taking the total of 6, child-sized steps to the bathroom, I decided it was a fantastic idea to just piss on my bedroom floor in the corner.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that reminds me
for
of
for
something.
for like 2 or 3 days before anyone noticed the scent. And yeah, I remember getting yelled at about it. It's like, it's fucking 6 steps to the bathroom. Are you that fucking lazy? I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I just kind of shrugging my shoulders, like, I was crying because I was upset. I just like, I don't know what the fuck possessed me to do that.
Right,
Why?
like you didn't know. Well, I mean, you kind of knew, but you didn't. You knew better, but and at the same time, you didn't.
Yeah, it's like you don't really think of the consequences. It's just like
Yeah,
I feel like my thought process is like, oh, it's carpet. The carpet will just be like a sponge.
like it'll just absorb into it and go away.
Yeah, which would be nice, but no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, that reminds me of I can tell a really quick one. Um, it was like again, I was probably about 4 or 5 or something. Um, I was watching. I don't know. I was watching some fucking kids like by kids show. I mean like educational, if you even want to call it that, because it was probably like The Wiggles or Barney or some bullshit. I don't know. The Wiggles was fine. Barney is like I would never show my kids Barney. But yeah, so what was like? Oh yeah, whatever I was watching, it was like same thought process as you. I was like, I don't know. I must have just gotten out of the tub or something. I don't fucking know because I think for whatever reason I was naked. Um, and like I'm watching the TV and I'm thinking I have to piss, but I don't want to get up. So I think same as you. I'm just like I'll just piss onto the carpet, and I did. But it was like about a minute or two later, my mom came in and saw what I had done, and for whatever reason, I don't think she was that mad. Or, I mean, she had to have been a little bit. Like, I didn't get yelled at, in other words. But at that point, I knew I had fucked up. Still.
It's on the carpet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
So it seems like kids like to piss on carpets.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
so. So this
Is that
quick. Oh wait, what?
your whole thing, 6?
Yeah, that was a quick one, so yeah.
All right, I don't know, Venom, if this was what you were thinking, but I just have to remind you that you also have a piss story to share.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna save that for last because
Yes.
I have one that's just kind of like it's very short. It's more of just like a indicator of the kind of person I was as a kid, like the previous one. As a kid, I don't even understand the reasoning behind this one because I don't even remember it. As a kid, I would go out in the middle of the day, sit on the driveway, and repeatedly bash my head into it nonstop.
Nice.
Oh, wait a minute. You bash your head into the driveway, or you bash yourself into the spot where you pissed?
No,
Both?
on the driveway, I would bash my head into the driveway.
Okay.
I get pissed in this story.
Yeah, you're definitely that old YouTube video, Crackhead Kid. Sort of
Yeah.
like the guy throws the basketball at the kid, and he's just like, yeah, and he just like he fucking likes it or something. That is you. That is actually Venom.
You know the honeycomb cereal mascot, that like crackhead fucking hedgehog or whatever? That's Venom.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
me.
I don't remember that.
There's a good reason you don't.
I guess, yeah, a really quick one. Another dumb thing I thought as a kid, that anything bad would happen to you if you went to DisneyChannel.com without your parents' permission. So, like, for those of you that don't know, I'm meaning the viewers. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Disney Channel commercials back then, like in the early to mid 2000s, they would be like, and probably the late 90s too, well, more like the 2000s. Every now and then they would air commercials that would say like, check out this new thing on the website, like the DisneyChannel.com website. Ask for your parents' permission. And of course, there are memes now, or like, where it's like, you're a bad kid if you went to like DisneyChannel.com without your parents' permission. But it's like, you
Yeah.
didn't really need it. They just, I guess that was their way of just like, I mean, it's not like there was anything ever bad on the website.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
everything on there was, kid friendly.
I'm just imagining like one of the memes out there is probably like this guy that's like super jacked, and he just like it just says like, I went on the Disney Channel website without my parents' permission.
Like that makes him a fucking badass.
Yeah.
So, do you have any more stories?
Hmm?
Do you have any more stories?
I have 4 more. What about the
Oh.
rest of you?
I got one more definitely in mind. Everything else
Yeah.
I would have to think of.
And you, Venom?
I have 2 stories, but I'm gonna save them at the end because they interconnect.
All right. How about I do 2, 6 will do 1, I'll do my other 2, and then you finish.
Sounds good.
All right.
Alrighty. So the last of these, there's no shitting and pissing. Although one of
Good.
them I certainly feel like I should have shit my pants. These are just me getting hurt. So I'm gonna put them on like a scale of like the one that hurt me the least up to the one that hurt the most, or rather would have hurt the most. So one of them, this was actually late 2000s, very late 2000s. I was climbing a tree at some kid's house, like we were all doing it. Lost my grip and I fell, and I just like landed on my back, and my head just back of my head just like hit the pavement.
Mm.
And oh yeah, that hurt. And gave me a head like an instant headache. That was all right, but yeah, it was just like the shock of like falling and then smack.
Mm.
And I'm just like, I think I was a little dizzy for a little bit, but I was all right.
That's like anytime I was a kid and like I was on the swing set and I just, for whatever reason, I just fell off the swing set. Like I was just swinging full speed and I just fall off. That was
That's
enough
weird.
for me. That was enough for me to feel like, like basically go up to my room, go to my bed, and just fucking feel like I'm sick or something. Or well, not feel like, but you know what I mean, like get treated as if I was sick.
Yeah. I don't. I had a swing set at my house, but I never remember like falling off of it, like you know, in a bad way. I remember like maybe going too fast where I would slip out of the seat and would just land, but I don't remember like actually hurting myself bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, that gives me an extra story. Let me write that down before I forget. All right, so the second one, it was way back when I was. This had to be late '90s, very early 2000s at the best. My dad was building a tree house way in our backyard. The first house I lived at, we had the house, then we had like 4 apartments, like it was sort of connected to the house. We had a garage, a shed, we had a fucking chicken coop, and then there was this massive, massive backyard. Oh, we also had a pool. There was like a side, there was a little yard in the front. There was a side yard to the left of the house, and it got like split by the driveway a little bit, and then there was more. That's where the pool was, and that actually like stretched all the way back to the woods. It was huge, and it's not. It wasn't one of those. Oh, it's just because you were a little kid. Everything. It was actually just a huge, huge place. Unfortunately, a lot of it back there was like borderline swamp all the time, so you had to go out with like little boots or galoshes or whatever the fuck. So in the process of building it, like I couldn't help much. I was too young, but like I would hang out sometimes, like if my dad was the only one at home. Um, and I remember there was a couple of like plywood boards, or no, not plywood, just some boards stacked up, to be used, and they looked like a set of stairs. And I was just, goofing around playing, and I just like decided I was just gonna walk up these stairs. I was like probably singing something or whatever, having a good time. But after I took like 2 or 3 steps, it just collapsed. And I went forward, and one of the boards must have had a nail on it because
Oh.
it just scratched my hand. It didn't go deep or anything, it was just a scratch. Um like it didn't like it went in, it scratched in a bit, but it didn't damage anything. It wasn't that deep, but it was deep enough. They My memory literally just cuts off as I guess like I'm falling. The next thing where the memory kicks in is I am in my dad's arms and he's running full speed to the house. And then like the next thing is I'm in the bathroom, and like they're just wrapping it in gauze or whatever. They ended up taking me to the emergency room, and like my mom was upset because it's like, oh, they're gonna give him stitches, and yeah, that's not, with a little kid, like that's never a good thing. It's just because your kid's gonna not gonna get the concept of you cannot do a lot with that part of your body because it's got stitches. You're gonna rip the stitches out and whatever.
Hmm.
And it was a new thing at the time. I don't know if they still use it today, but they took a look at it. They got it cleaned up, and the nurse was just like, "I think we're gonna glue it." And my mom was completely confused what the fuck they were talking about. But it was just like this special glue that they would put in, and it would like hold it together. And that's what they gave me. I went home. I'm sure I had a bandage on for a good week or so, but I don't remember anything about it. But I still have the scar. I'll get some pictures to put in of the scar here. So there was that. Let me do one more since I got that additional story. All right, this one wasn't. This was the one I was just thinking of. This isn't a injury. This was just me being dumb. So when you're a kid, you play with the bugs and whatever outside, and you have fun. And I
Yeah.
remember finding like a shitload of worms somewhere, and for whatever stupid reason, I took them over to where the swing set was, and the swing set was also like a sandbox. I put them. I think first I put them in the sand and like I covered them with sand, and then I pulled them back out. And then I put them all on the swing seat. And I don't, obviously, you don't understand like worms, they got to be in the earth so they can stay moisturized and whatever. In the sand, I don't know, maybe they'd have been okay, but putting them on the swing seat itself, and then I went in the house for something. I came back out later and, or the next day or something. Yeah, they were completely dried out and dead. And I just felt so fucking bad. Like I murdered these worms by leaving them out in the sun on some fucking hot plastic. So, yeah, that's the time I fucking massacred a family of worms
Nice.
unintentionally.
I'm proud of you.
All right, Six, you go ahead with your last one.
So again with preschool, I think it was a different preschool this time, and this might be the most random fucking thing ever, but I mean, it technically falls under the children are stupid thing. So I don't know what led to this realization or not, but it was basically I was just I don't know, we were in the middle of class or something, if you even want to call it class. Just it's preschool. And it's like I just suddenly gained enough sentience that I'm like, holy shit, I can breathe. It sounds fucking stupid, but it's like, I guess I've been breathing on autopilot this whole time in my life.
And I bet as soon as you realized it, you just started breathing manually.
Yes. And I thought it was like, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong?
I remember shit like that as a kid. Because it's like right now, it's like if I'm scrolling online and I see some like Instagram post or something, you're gonna start breathing manually. You're gonna
Yes.
start blinking manually. It's like your brain just instantly clicks into it. It's like, oh shit, now I have to actively think about this for until I
Right.
forget. It's annoying. Um, I kind of have a similar thing. I remember this isn't necessarily a stupid thing, but I just have this weird memory of as a kid, I'm just standing in like our dining room, and I'm not sure if it's a memory of real life or if I was dreaming, but I just remember just like blinking my eyes like I was a robot fucking being activated or something. I think I was probably just goofing around, or maybe I am a robot.
Makes sense.
Who knows? Uh, maybe I am a monster. I wouldn't know if I were one. Had to throw that quote in.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I wonder, like, was that me, like, discovering I had consciousness or something at like the age of 3 or 4?
Basically.
I have no idea.
I'm glad I'm not alone in having like stupid moments like that. Just yeah, 'cause, like I said at the time, I'm thinking like, have I been like, did I do something wrong where like I have to think about breathing now, or in your case, whatever it was, or just in
Mm-hmm.
general. All right, so I guess that was your last one, Heroicus.
No,
Or
well, that was my last of the two. I was passing it to
oh
you.
yeah
I still have
yeah.
two more after you.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's it for me then.
All right, so the last one where I did injure myself. This was early 2010s. Um, I had we all went. There was the Dr. Scholl's like foot inserts or whatever had just come out or something.
Hmm.
I forget what they're called specifically.
Like
But we
just
all got them.
insoles or whatever.
Yeah, they're like memory foam and shit like that. Or oh, no, they had gel or some kind of gel.
Hmm.
I don't remember what the product was called exactly, but yeah, we'd go to Walmart, you'd like stand on this machine and do a bunch of shit, and then it would tell you like, oh yeah, you need to get like 44B. That's the one that'll best match you. So we got them, and I was like, I had a pocket knife. I don't know if it was mine or I think it was mine. I had a knife at the time. So I flicked it open and I was trying to cut it and I was holding it in a really stupid way. And we're driving like home from Walmart. And like we didn't even get out of the entirety of the parking lot because it was like there was Walmart. I think there was like a Tractor Supply next to it. That seems to be a common theme. Like they have next to each other. And then there was a bunch of other stores, a GameStop. There was a Big Lots or something. And then there was it wasn't Cold Stone, but it was something like Cold Stone.
Mm.
Some kind of frozen yogurt place, and there was a McDonald's, and it was like all this like one massive parking lot.
Was it like sweet? Was it Sweet Frog or I don't know, one of those
Yes,
fucking?
Sweet Frog. That's what it was. But yeah, I'm holding it in a stupid way. I'm in the back seat trying to cut it open, and it was struggling to cut through at one point, and then finally it let go, and I just ran the knife right over my finger, and it was a blunt knife too, so it fucking hurt. But it's like it cut, and I was just like frozen in shock for a second, and then the bloods just started going down my hand, and I just like started screaming, and I'm like, "Pull over, please!" And we pulled over. I got the door open. I just had my hand out, and like I bled all over. We happened to park right over an big arrow sign on the pavement that was like pointing like which way to go. And I fucking bled all over that to turn the whole fucking thing red. Um, it was like I just had a towel wrapped around my hand or a t-shirt or something for the ride home. We got some, we got it cleaned up when we got home and bandaged it. And it was like that for a solid week and a half or so. Like we would change it, I think, every day. And then finally, after that week and a half or whatever, it took it off, and it was like it took me like almost the entire day to like actually manage to bend my finger. I was like fucking terrified looking at it. It's like if I bend it, am I gonna fucking rip it open again? But it was fine. I think at the most I probably just put like a regular band-aid on it after. But yeah, it took me all day to just like get it to bend and function again because it had been locked and completely straight for a solid week at that point. And the other thing, it wasn't an injury, but it could have easily have been fatal.
Ooh.
So
Oh, I think
we,
I have a pretty good guess as to what this story is.
um, this was back in 2001, I think, because we were at this guy's place. He was what is it? He had this whole thing in his backyard. Like all these carved stone, like it had uh, different Bible scripture. He was sandblasting into them all. It's this whole thing, but we were there. My dad was helping out with something. There was a really big pillar they were raising or something, and I think at the end of the day, it's just like they had a golf cart to get around because it was a good walk around the place, and he was already like getting into his elderly years at the time. So he's like he would use the golf cart to get around. But he let me drive it around a little bit. I guess they explained how to do it, and I would just drive around and whatever. And at one point, I think we were close to getting ready to leave or something. and I asked him like, did you if he wanted me to like back the thing up and like get it like on the little, like, it wasn't a full road, but it was a path, to get it on the path just so it would be easier for everyone to get on. He didn't say anything, but I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it anyway. I got on it, turned it on, and didn't realize it was in reverse. I fucking floored it and went directly backwards and slammed into a bush. It is such an amazing thing that that bush was there, because if it wasn't, I would have just gone flying off of a small cliff, and yeah, I'd have been dead. So it was quite fucking terrifying once I found out that information.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized at the time. I was basically just scared that it went backwards, but I probably didn't realize, even if they were saying right there, you almost killed yourself, I probably didn't process it. But years later, I think when I went back and I knew the story and I'm just looking, I'm like, holy shit, that's a good drop. I could have fucking died. And then I made out with the bush as a thank
Nice.
you. And that's it for what I got. So Venom, you go ahead with your finale.
The grand
Okay.
2-part finale.
Okay, for dramatic effect, I'm going to take a drink of water.
Make sure we can hear you swallow.
Okay. So, as a kid, I had a pair of sweatpants, and I loved these sweatpants. There were these gray sweatpants, and they were so stretchy. I would wear them everywhere. I would wear them to school. I would wear it around the house. I'd wear it when going outside and like going around a Walmart or something. And the great feature about these stretchy sweatpants was I was able to hike it up, take the thing and hike it over to my shoulders, so just my head is showing. And so I would do that a lot. And one day I go outside, I hike it over my shoulders. I walk over to my neighbor's yard and begin eating their grass. And after a while, the grass, I turn around and throw up on their driveway. And that's how we met those neighbors.
What the Wait, hold on. So, well, I know you told us the story, like, privately, but, like, were you, like, on the, like, I'm questioning the logistics. So, like, your arms were in the sweatpants, so, like, were you, like, on all fours somehow, like a cow eating the grass, or, like, were you squatting down like some weird alien?
I think I was squatting down.
Oh my god.
I always imagined like they're one of those people in the neighborhood that don't mow their lawns, and their grass was like already 7 feet high. So it was Venom's height at that point.
Mm-hmm. They were just asking for it with grass that long. But yeah, so that's how I met them. And there's a part two to this regarding the sweatpants. So one day, I don't even know, half of the things about my childhood is I don't remember the reasoning behind things. I did, but I don't think there really ever was reasoning behind it besides shits and giggles. So one day, instead of hiking it all the way up to my shoulders, I hike it up to my armpit. So my arms are still showing. But it's just like, it looks like how old men wear their pants, where it's just like so far up, you can't really see anything besides the shoulders and the arms.
It's like that meme where the old couple wrecked their car. The old lady is still in the passenger seat just fine, and the old man just got out, and his pants are, like you said, up to his armpits.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
While you finish the story, I'll look for the picture.
And so in my sister, this is context for what's about to happen. Is in my sister's room, there is by the door is this long wooden dresser. We had it in our family for ages. It's a very old dresser, and it can take up from the wall to the door, which was pretty big. And so one day, with the sweatpants hiked to my armpits, I walk into my sister's room. I stare at her directly in the eye. I put one leg up on the dresser. I say, "I'm Albert Einstein," and begin pissing myself, just all over.
Did any of it get in the drawers?
I don't know. What was weirder is my sister took it pretty well.
Like, wait, so how old were you two at the time, roughly?
I would probably say like 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured she was just used to your shit at that point.
Yeah.
I'm just, oh my god. Yeah, just, yeah, if she's used to your shit, like, yeah, she probably wouldn't even be that mad. Like, if I tried that on my sister, like, she'd be, like, she would never forgive me for it.
My family's very used to my shenanigans.
Yeah, I just feel like the first time you ever did something weird as a kid, it was the first incident where someone was like, "That is such a Venom Joubert moment."
Yes. And so with that covered dresser, we end our episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us talk about excretions from our bodies, and also injuring ourselves or committing horrible acts of indecency. So leave in the comments something dumb you've done in your childhood, like exists, or just like, you stole something from a store. This has been Venom Joubert.
6 foot pitch radius.
And Lord Heroicus.
Thank you very much, everyone, and fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you.
Screw you all.